Hey guys, this is Miles of Crypto. I'm coming to you with a video tonight on laser again. I haven't done a video for a couple days, and so, well, about cryptocurrencies, I threw out some random videos of my chameleons. And see here. So today is the 20th of November, and so Tom uh, Malloy, he just deposited 200, uh, 200, yeah, 10 minutes ago. He deposited $200 into Laser. He's actually got a channel on YouTube. If you want to follow him, is see if I can find his page. Sec here. So he is Epic Entrepreneur NYC. That's his channel. So he actually just bought into Laser behind me. He doesn't back Laser or anything like that, so I'm not gonna say, he's he's just as sketched out by this company as BitConnect or anything like that, and so he's not going to promote them, which I totally understand. I kind of shot it to him just so he can kind of look into it. He said, sure, why not? I'll throw 200 into it. Um, but I like making believers out of it. Um, I wouldn't I wouldn't promote it to somebody else if I didn't trust it. Would I still classify it as, you know, risk? Yes. Would I cut it high risk? Yes, I would say. I don't know if the site's going to be around a month or two or three or a year from now. But what I do believe is, looking at the CEO and the company, and if we go to the home page, it's been around for about 144 days now, and funds deposited 165 million, 36 million paid out in profits, and they they do owe people right now, and the reason being, and this is why one of the main reasons why I wanted to make this video today, is if you go, sorry, we want to go back to, it's on the desktop, nope, not desktop, it's on the home page. He just made a deposit, and he said show an active deposit 0 at the moment, so um, it takes a little bit for it to go through. So, yeah, let me see here if I can find the right area of the page. Transactions, there we go. So, right here you can see this is where they have done payouts. There's a break in payouts right here. Typically, you see these lower amounts paid out on the weekends, and the reason why is those are not business days. If they're not going to pay out dividends, paying out the 12% on business days, you aren't going to deposit in on the weekends if you're not thinking. Now these people could say, hey, I'm going out of town, I'm going to deposit it anyways, and they'll come back a week later, and boom, I've made all this interest in here. But typically it's because the person doesn't know what they're doing. So there was 2 days of deposits, and you see these really small amounts right here. Like they did give out, they paid $11,000.62, and then 0 and 0. People freaked out around here, said it's a scam, it's a scam. But you gotta understand where the company was coming from and why this is going on. Again, we're back through the weekend again, already November 20th, and look at the money that's coming through here. So, in matter of like an hour's time, There's already a 1.34 million deposited back in. Um, they will start doing payouts again soon, and the reason why this went on was when you deposit into this platform, into Laser, you are depositing Bitcoin, one of these, into the company, and then they're taking it and they're investing with that money back into cash essentially. So when you want to then do a withdrawal, which it will not let me do a withdrawal right now for two reasons. I have it on auto reinvest enabled. I have to turn that off, so we'll turn it off, and then it'll let me withdraw. And technically, right now, I could withdraw like $17.02. But it will hold me from being able to get a withdrawal till they're allowing it again. And the reason why was they go through a third party to pay you back. Well, with the spike of Bitcoin going up, and I think very specifically Bitcoin, because most people are paying and transferring through Bitcoin, the fees have gotten ridiculously high to the point that when they need to pay out the third party and then the third party pays out you, there is kind of that middle realm, and I'm not positive if they're getting rid of the third party, cutting out the middleman there. It would be smart if they can do that. Um, so what they are doing and what they're claiming to do is create, in a sense, their own coin. Um, and their coins, which to me is very similar to BitConnect. If you think about BitConnect, they have their own coin that you transfer into, and that's where it's confusing, is because you're transferring into a coin that isn't actually the BCC coin. It's it's um it's just tradable. So basically, on the platform, I could maybe have $17.02 of that particular laser coin that can then be transferred into Bitcoin or Litecoin and then be sent to me. So technically, I think they can do that all through the site. But it was getting so locked up that the transactions weren't going through that they then got very expensive on top of that. And I think the third party actually didn't have the money there to then make the payment. So it's kind of understandable why they're dealing with what they are. Is it a big hiccup? Yes. Um, and should have it been corrected or noted beforehand instead of people kind of getting scared and saying, "Where's my money?" But this kind of happens with everything. At the same time, people could say the same thing about your Genesis mining contracts, where you uh, deposit into Genesis mining and then they're not paying back dividends until like a month or two later, or something like that. People are going to start freaking out. But people actually are pretty calm about that, and it's totally understandable because they trust that company. But this company, people can say, "Oh, it's a Ponzi scheme. It's a scam," and potentially you could be correct of it being somewhat of a Ponzi scheme. And I'm not going to trash talk on the company because I wouldn't be investing 40 and now I'm at $4,994.38 into the company if you know, and I've put a total invested amount of $5,144 in. I don't understand why it's not reflecting here as more. I have pulled out $30 in $10 affiliate commission fee, or I mean commission deposit. That would actually be from um, the guy that was on here. Um, so it's $10, which yeah, it's cool to get those, especially if you had hundreds of people signing up. But I don't have hundreds of people following me yet, so and I don't plan on that quickly. It'd be awesome if it did, but that's not why I'm doing this. I'm excited about this right here. I've put in about $1,500, and I now have this. So right now I'm going to take the $17.02. I'm going to reinvest it. And yes, it might be a week or two till I'm able to withdraw. My goal is to withdraw And that's the thing about this company too. They're not going to bash you for withdrawing, and I don't believe that they're trying to hold on to your money because they actually do want you to withdraw portions of your money. If it's all being held on to, then it does inflate the company too much in a way. So it does actually help to have that balance, in my opinion. Um, the same goes with BitConnect. I don't think they want you to have them hold on to your money, all of it, because they want more people coming in and they want it to be kind of a broader spectrum. Because if you have more people under you, the more backing you have. Um, and two, you want steady growth. You don't just want this drastic boost either. So that's how you deal with that. Um, so right now I'm going to do a reinvest of 1702. What I do like is they do take that whole amount. They're not going to cut out the 2 cents, or which is something that BitConnect does do. I think that's kind of a scam. I think you should be able to put in, you know, $5 at a time. Um, but I don't know, it might be too complicated. So I've made that $5,000 mark. When I can do a withdrawal, I'm not going to do it now until I actually see people getting paid out. When that happens, I will. And I'm going to take out probably $500, pay back one of the accounts I actually pulled money from. I pulled money from basically an overdraft protection I have on a checking account because I have my money spread on other positions. Bitrix wallet here. I have Ripple, Litecoin, Steam, Dash, Steam Dollars, Bitcoin, Lisk, Vertcoin, 10x, and Game Credit. And today I watched the whole 10x boost, and I'm kind of frustrated with myself because I literally had it put in to sell it at 5400 and it was in here, and I was like, you know what? It still looked like it might shoot up because when I look at these graphs, I say, hey, people look at these graphs. If I draw the line right here, would they say that's the end? No, I don't think so. I could say, hey, this could be or this could be too. So it could have really shot up, and everybody's hoping on 10x to shoot up. So um, I wish I did sell them because I would be buying rep back in, settles down again, and I would have been able to buy even more of the coin. So I like doing that. I do day trade it. So I was in here at 22,445. So 22,445, still in here pretty high. I bought it around here, and I know I didn't buy it at the best time, but I didn't know if it was going to keep going up. And I saw this ramping up. You get this big hook right here, started to make it say, and then it dropped way down. Been great to buy it down here. But even sell it up here, I would have made a good amount of profit off of that to almost buy double in what I have. I don't have much in it right now. Right now, I have one sell for much of the coin, two, and then I got 688, 6.88 right there. So, but that's basically my wallet. And I got this gain credit. And what was the one that I've sold a few? That I did really well on. So to me, I like having this diversity though. It's kind of interesting. You'll have 8 of these kind of all going up and 3 dying, or I'll have 3 going up and 8 dying, or and that's kind of how it is. So to have that little bit of diversity, I don't mind if they go down a little bit here or there. Honestly, I've stuck into all these coins, and every single day, a good portion of them will show negative, and yet still amazingly, I put about 650 in here, or 680 or 690 in here over this past week, the beginning of this past week, and it's at 761. And I'll do a little sell on something and then buy back into it when it's a little bit lower. But I'm kind of scared to do that because I feel like some of these coins, like Lisk, um, I think is one of those that it might shoot up and never come back down. It might go up and sit up here at 151 and I'm like, "Oh, I sold a bunch right here and I'm buying into it even higher." So you don't know. But some of these coins, cryptos, I think are some are worth day trading and kind of playing the swings, and some are kind of like, hey, you might as well just hold on to it. You're not going to make a ton out of it, but it will do a steady gradual climb. So that's what I'm into right now. I do recommend all of these. Could talk trash on me saying, why do you have so much Ripple and not diversified through the rest? And I could agree with you to a point that maybe Ripple isn't the greatest, but do I think it will do another one of these swings? I do. So down here you'll see these limit sells for 37 and 39. That puts you around here and here. I don't think it hurts to put those in. When you've seen it do it twice, guess what? I was in here, down here, I bought in around 27, and I literally put the amount in for the peak of this one. And I took it off and said, no, I can't remember what I was thinking. I was gonna said no, and I think I even put something a little bit lower, and I just canceled that high one and put one lower to sell off a portion of it and keep the rest. Yeah, so I sold at 29.65. And then after that, I was like, oh, I'll buy this up. And then I did sell at like 36.88. So I did get a good 36.88. I sold it around here somewhere. So I can't complain. But I did have all in to sell it up here. And sure enough, literally hours later, it shot up. So I have a good position in here. I'm in around 28. I want to say 28 even on average with all the buys that I've done. And my buys have gotten better too. I got one at 28.81. It'll probably never be down at 28.81 ever again. I could be wrong. Well, it's actually not that far off from there. Yeah, it'll probably be at 28.81 again eventually, but after probably likely another huge swing. So I think 2018 is the time to, up to that point, is the time to hold on to currencies. I am one of those that believes that this is just my opinion, but and I need to get into Neo. I do want some Neo. I'm waiting for the right time to buy into Neo. Um, oh, Power Ledger. I did buy into Power Ledger and sold into that. Pretty good. So Power's a good one that I got on with very little said about it, and I thought it was I could see the swing of potential move up, and I got it right on point. So I sold all of that, and then I'm gonna wait for it to drop again, and I'll probably play that again. I plan on, anytime there's a big swing, it might drop all the way back down and then play dead and then swings again. So a lot of them are doing that. A lot of these coins are acting very much the same. But to get back to my point, I apologize, I do hop around a lot. Um, when you think about Bitcoin and Bitcoin being created, or who created it and how it was created, we still know nothing about who created it. And it's funny how, you know, there's not conspiracies centered around that. We just talk about, oh, Bitcoin was created by some Asian guy, most likely, and that's all we have. I highly doubt that we don't know how it was created, and I very much do believe the blockchain technology you could classify as government's technology. Who created blockchain? Was blockchain specifically Bitcoin's technology, and Bitcoin can say it owns blockchain? I don't know. Um, I don't know that much about. I don't know enough about blockchain, even though I've done all the research on. There's not much to know about it unless you really actually know how to design it or use it. Um, as a developer or a coder. So um, I think that the government is very much behind it. I'm one of those to believe that this is the realm of the future, um, and something that I might not even agree with. Here I'm investing in a currency against my own currency, knowing that my currency will likely fall and fail to it, for the government then to pick it up and make federal coins or whatever, and you could have one world government coin, whatever it's going to be, currency. Uh, Here, this was designed to keep the information away from government, and very much in the end, it can lock us into where government knows everything you're doing. When it's a swipe of your wrist to pay for something, which right now it's the closest thing is it's in your watch or it's in your phone. But more importantly, that watch. Well, that watch at the same time is freaking reading your heartbeat at the same time. What's the difference of it being in your wrist? Nothing really. I think you already have the technology to basically put a watch in your wrist and it can light through your skin. So how far away are we from having a watch inside your skin that you never have to take off? That's also powered by your own blood. Who knows? So to me, I do believe that the future is one world government, and I do believe that cryptocurrency is the entry to the future of the new realm of life. If you look at a lot of these guys that talk about currencies, I can't remember who it was that I heard. It almost creeped me out by what he said, because he was very right that you look at the generation of the internet started with um, just a simple understanding of being able to communicate with people, to um, then the next was the social media realm. We grew the social media realm to now that it's an advertisement business through social media. So we are all basically a price tag and a sticker online, creating potentially money out of nothing. To the point that now we have cryptocurrencies like Steemit, who are creating new platforms like Facebook meets Twitter all in one, that you can then post something through Steemit. And you saw my thing. I have Steemit currency, and I actually have my own page on Steemit. So I actually might leave a link in there for you to kind of see what Steemit's about. Um, just look it up. You can create an account. It does take like a week, or I think it was like 9 days for me to get an account with them. But I potentially could post things on there, like this video, on there, and then build likes, subscribers, like followers, and based on their following's following, if they share it, the money, literally each person is a price tag and has a particular currency value to them. So if I'm the, you know, top 100 posters on there that everybody knows on the site, like if you go back to MySpace, whoever the owner of MySpace was, he was really smart. He put himself as one of your friends. So he had value. He basically had currency of every time another follower came on, they only build value to him, because if he's the number one friend for everybody and you couldn't even delete him as a friend, then potentially each one of you being his friends are one of his own currency values in pennies or dollars or whatever you want to say. So that's kind of how this works. You actually own a piece of the site. Think about if Facebook tomorrow decided they wanted to create a Facebook currency to fight against Steemit. They would actually be smart, but that would mean then they would have to actually give back and restructure their whole infrastructure and set it to like square one and say that you own a piece of the advertisement that you create, which would be amazing. If Mark was it Mark Zuckerberg that created Facebook? Am I the right person? If he's all about, the free world and all this stuff being open to the public, Well, if you look at Facebook, it's all about, and you could say, hey, it doesn't have to do with him, it has to do with the people that now control Facebook. Does he even control it fully anymore? I don't know. Um, is he even the CEO now? I don't know. I don't pay attention. But he, if that was really the case that he wanted to give it all back to the world, then it'd be, oh, we all own a piece of it. Um, Now the problem is in the long run, those are all very insignificant. So even if you think about Steemit, if it has 1 million followers, well, at some point you have to say that top 1% are the only ones actually making money, right? And yet people can come in. YouTube has to always convert and change their structure of YouTube just to make it more fair across the board. However, in the end, it's very much segregated people. I might have 100 people ever watch this video ever in the history of it, and can't get any subscribers. And one guy posts a video, and just because he has that one video that went viral, all of his other videos can go viral. So in a way, it kind of gets lucky. At some point, I might as well just catch myself on fire and run around in a circle and make my video go viral, and then all my videos will have more followers because you're going to naturally follow my channel or see what else crazy thing I'm going to do next. Um, so, sorry for the rant, but that's kind of my theory. I do believe that government has a lot to do, the elites have a lot to do with creating this realm. Keep that in mind. Like, how are you being used as a tool in this realm? In a year from now, we could say, "Oh man, I wish it never went this way." I am already saying that. Now, at the same time, I'm investing in it because I know I could either sit in the back and completely ignore it and say I refuse, like every single person that said I'll never own a cell phone, to now, how do you even pay for your bills without a cell phone now without paying ridiculous amount in check fees because you have to go buy checks. I went to buy checks the other day and it was $100 for a freaking pack of checks through Wells Fargo. Give me a break. So they're pushing us out. And in the same way, your dollar bills will eventually be gone. Your $100 bill will be gone. So you'll be able to pay for coffee and small things with $20 bills. But even then, think about it now. How thick does your wallet have to be to actually have money in it? I could go through 10, $20 bills in a day. My wallet barely holds 10 bills. So you think about it, the $20 bill now becomes a $10 bill, now becomes a $1 bill. That's to me how quickly our dollar value is falling. And the reason why I got out of the stock market, or a good portion of it, was for that reason. I could put $4,000 and feel like I'm risking a lot of my money to make 20%, and I make that 20%. I'm pretty successful in long term investments in the stock market. I can day trade a little bit, but I don't do it fully on a daily basis to, or with my time and getting up in the morning to do it, that I just stick with more longer term things, which I think is kind of smarter in the long run. Anyways, you do have to realize though that that $4,000 turned into $6,000 over a year's time. What does that $6,000 buy me now compared comparison to the $4,000 based on all of that risk? At some point, I would say, hey, it actually is easier just to blow it, and that's where we're at today. So, um, I do think that it's smart to buy into gold and silver and hard values because things that hold a value and sense of worth that actually are in your hand, not a piece of paper. Because I think that stuff is going to slowly go away, and it has everything to do with the cryptocurrency realm. This will then one day be currency, and stock is of the future because I think federal government even knows without a doubt that they have to move with the changes, and the changes are that they start getting your power. The only reason why you're able to hide from government now is with cash, um, with gold and silver too. But it's not even a currency at this point. So, um, it will have a value when there is no currency left, but something that you can't hide from, meaning anything you want to buy in the future will have to be run and still regulated by the feds or whoever it is at that point keeping in control. You have to keep that in mind that we are pushing ourselves to our own destruction. And you got to think about what the next life is really going to be like. It's going to be very, very different. And so, to make a little bit of money good doing this, or even a lot of money doing this, in the end, you could say, I wish it was never created. And I think we will all say that one day, because we're all going to learn one day that you can't have any of your own privacy. You know, nobody would have thought that they'd stick a camera up to their computer, sit there and talk into it. So, if you think about it that way, it's amazing how much we've given away of our privacy. To me, I do these videos at this point because I like to vent and get out my frustration, and at the same time maybe open people's eyes to the future a little bit. I think we're going through a time of change, and in the next couple years we're going to see some amazing things that we never thought were possible. I don't know what those are, but I sense, I think we're all becoming more believers of the lack of trust we should have for anybody that wants to control our lives, like government, or um, our lives are being just taken by everything, social media and uh, you know news and all this stuff. That most of what we're being fed these days are lies, and I think we all believe that. So sorry to be a downer, but I feel like it's necessary to also see the reality. I don't want to live with my head in the clouds, and I like to think that I'm reading the future before it hits me. Um, I don't think this would exist right now and we'd be talking about any of these things if not every one of us didn't trust our dollar and our future. Um, it doesn't matter if you have $1 million in your pocket now. Do you really believe that you're secure? Uh, I don't think anybody's that secure. So, um, same thing with insurances. You could have all the insurance in the world. If things fall apart tomorrow, who knows what that would be like? So, who knows what insurance is going to cover? Oh well, that we don't cover that kind of natural disaster. So, um, I think there's going to be a lot to happen for government to gain and hold control over us, especially in America. And I think they're planning and getting ready for it. Um, watch out for my next videos. I think I'm going to start going into more controversial stuff, but things with like the Vegas shootings and stuff like that. I don't want to get too much into conspiracies, but I think we should actually ask real questions because almost anything you could say, no, we don't really know the answer to that. No, we weren't really told the answer to that. And we are just left as we have puppets in front of us. We're sitting there watching them, and all they are is just a puppet. And yeah, we have a lot going on right in front of our faces right now, willing for you to give all your rights up because of one little disaster here or there. And every single time it's about, oh, see, we got them to do it, you know? And American people are being killed for these things to happen. So, you gotta go back and think, ever since 9/11, what's changed? My dad works for the airlines. He's an aircraft mechanic. He lost his job then. But ever since then, life's been much more of a struggle now than ever. Um, and we've watched our country fall apart. Even though you could say, oh, we have all these great things, and it's not, it's not great. Everything that's going on in the world is slowly falling apart, and we see it as slow, but actually it's really fast because take 100 years and see how far we've come. It's just the simple laws of physics. The faster things spin, the more out of control they get. How do you get them back in control? Um, our debt spins out of control. You're not going to fix it. You can cover it up. You can, you know, tape on it, stick it back on the wall, but you're still sticking it back up there with tape. So, all right, I'm done, guys. But I hope you start to see more truth in the world of what's really going on, and I think we leave a blind eye to way too much. Um, we have to open our eyes and really see how corrupt we are, especially America, and how we twist all these things that go on. And I'm not going to blame Obama, I'm not going to blame Trump. Again, I think they're puppets. Yes, they do have power, but all of this is a front. They work for those people that control. I think of people like I was watching a video on cryptocurrencies about somebody saying something about George Soros is an idol because he's giving money to these people and stuff like that. And I could show you so many false flags and so many unanswered things that then I find, oh, George Soros put a put option on Mandalay Bay or the MGM a month before the shooting, that kind of stuff. Over and over again, different things like that really makes you start to see the reality is the corruption is at the very top. All you have to do is follow the money. Trail always shows the corruption, and it goes down to the same leaks on the shooting potentially the day before the shooting happened in Vegas. Q is the name of the person that leaked the information out saying stay away from the three black armored vehicles, which there's three black armored vehicles there with army on the side of them. Show videos of what looks like people with guns sitting on top of the buildings inside that event, like military maybe, um, helicopter military, um, and yet the same guy Q that left that information out then also leaked the information that the Saudi prince would be arrested like a week before he was arrested. So, um, when people like Trump say, they're fake news, it's fake news, those people all know it's fake news. Doesn't matter if it's Fox or any of them, they're all fronts. So you can't really pick a side without still losing. Um, yeah, one side might be winning or look like they're winning, but if get into all this, but if Obama appointed the CEO of MGM and Mandalay Bay to be the director over security, I can't remember what the term would be, but like the security over public places, happens to be the CEO of the Mandalay Bay and the MGM, who was also the man that pulled out 80% of his stock holdings 3 weeks before the shooting at the Mandalay Bay. Wouldn't that mean he um, Shouldn't he be in jail right now or be getting questioned? 2. What CEO pulls 80% out of his own stock in his own company unless he plans on being fired? So, what kind of power do these people really have? So, Obama appointed him for that. Here in Trump's reign, now people are getting shot. Do either of them have to be the ones that actually make this stuff happen? Or are they just the ones to stand there and act like they're in control when they aren't in control? I think it goes a little bit both ways. Um, and I think they're fighting for the same war in the same race. Um, go back to 9/11, people running out of the buildings. Who were the first people that they talked to? People coming out from the basement saying that it sounded like bombs going off in the basement. They had no idea a plane hit the top of the tower. So why was it melting lava in there? Oh, you think all that gas and fuel just leaked all the way down to the bottom of the building and melted it to death? Give me a break. So, yeah, call me conspiracist. I don't care. I just, to me, I feel like I can understand, you know, how a building goes down, and they don't go down straight down like that without it being planned. I think that building perfectly crumbled, and I know for sure one of the buildings that supposedly had some debris fall of it on its side totally knocked down the whole building. That doesn't happen. Rubio Giuliani, I think, in the front of the public said that building fell down. Um, what was it, number 9 or number 13? The CIA FBI building, who was also being questioned for like billions of dollars being lost. They were just going to be, and that building just goes down. He says we brought down building number 9 or 13, whatever one it was. CIA and FBI building. So you're telling me that building's strapped with bombs, but those other ones weren't? And go look at the CIA FBI building 9/11 and watch the video of it falling. It falls perfectly. It actually caved from the inside in the middle, and then the sides broke in, just like it would. And 2, you don't say we brought it down, or he used a term that I can't remember what term he used, but he used a term that demolition people use. So he was told that, and I don't think he, I think it came out. I'm not supposedly supposed to be saying that, but it's just all that. Ever since then, we've been living in fear and been directed into all these new roles and this new shooting. And my whole point behind all this is that new shooting, I think, was all on purpose to bring just more security, um, and more fear of what's necessary. And at the same time, I could say that secret groups could have potentially been doing all of the killing. And I know cousin of a cousin that died there. She was 21. And I knew 2 girls that were shot back and in the leg. Both of them survived. They had kids. And girl, I think, had 2 twins. Uh, so I knew 3 people that were shot in that event. Um, to me, it's sick that we basically just get over this stuff and we have to shut up the next day and act like everything's okay, and yet people are dying over money all the time in America, greed, and control over people, control over Americans. And I think that's the center focus of this. That CEO of Mandalay Bay, he needs to be hardcore questioned and found for what he's guilty for. Same thing with George Soros and all these other people that could be involved with it. So goes a mile long. If you start looking at videos, I could show you videos all day long showing that I believe there were 7 shooters in that one single shooting, and I think that there was multiple shooters over at Tropicana over there. And if you want to look at eyewitness reports on YouTube, you can find plenty of those videos and see that their stories align with each other's almost perfectly. And yet, any of the stories that you were given over the news make no sense at all. They don't give any answers. The only answers you're getting are from the eyewitnesses. And two, one last thing. That building, Mandalay Bay, where the 2 windows were shot out, one of those windows is where the Australian guy's room was. So look for the Australian eyewitness for Mandalay Bay. He ran down the stairs. He claimed that he saw um, security guards getting shot by men in like SWAT gear, and one of them being dead on the floor. And yet, all we ended up with was some Mexican guy who's apparently illegal working under somebody else's social security, not his own, I think like his grandma's or something, who was a security guard who there's no record or no proof of him actually working there. So who do you believe? So I do believe that a lot of people are staged and actors of this event. The shooter's brother, I believe he's like an actor. Go find information on him and go tell me who he actually is, because you won't actually find consistent information. So it's amazing how much we can be painted a picture and it's all lies. Um, yeah, if you want to watch the video of the brother, look at his shirt and look at the company. It's a company out of Florida, and they literally hire basically actors for news. So if news needs like a spokesperson, they would hire this company. The guy literally had that on his shirt. So tell me the brother's an actor or works for that company. Why the heck would he have that shirt on? To me, it's always just a slap in the face. Look how stupid these Americans are. We basically painted it in a picture in front of them and they still ignore it. And still, we're literally just being taught to be completely submissive. You know, we're becoming submissive with no backbone in America. And yeah, that's kind of where I stand. So, well, I'm gonna get out of here. Sorry for the long video. If you've actually gotten to this point in the video, I appreciate it. If you'd like to give me a like, subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate that. If you want to leave me a comment in the bottom with your own channels or any questions you have or information that you have, um, or even if you think everything I said was just BS, I don't care. I don't expect everybody to agree with me, but I think this is a perfect realm to discuss it. So, have a good night, guys. It's 20th of November, and have a good Thanksgiving.